What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to tell you guys why the ASICS Court FF Novak is one of the most overrated shoes on the market. And that's right. This is the ASICS Court FF Novak. I'm probably asking a couple questions. Number one, you want to know why I think this shoe is overrated, but number two, where am I? And this is my new workspace. I'm doing some private coaching for a family, and this is where I'm going to be doing some of my videos from now on. So here we go. Let's jump into this review. I'm excited to tell you why I think this shoe is overrated. So first of all, big thanks to Tennis On. Without them, this is not possible. If you want to pick up this shoe, another ASICS shoe, or any other shoes and tennis equipment, feel free to use my code. Links and everything that you need for that are in the description. This shoe has been out for some time now. I do think it has a place on the market. I just think that it's a little bit overrated. And of course, I'll jump into that here shortly, but yeah, first of all, the colorway, it looks actually unreal. I love the colors on this particular one. I feel like ASICS in general does a pretty good job of the colors and stuff here. Structurally for the shoe, I feel like there's a ton of weight on the bottom. Now, first of all, this was not my favorite play test, and that's maybe why I thought it was a little overrated. And if you guys are enjoying this type of breakdown, I'm actually going to be giving you guys a free drills package. This is drills that I have done myself or that I also do with my players that I coach. This is, once again, free. It's going to be in either the pinned comment or we'll link it in the description. Free drills. All right, these are simple but yet effective. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy them. I feel like these shoes get a lot of hype for some reason. When they came out, it was like, oh, the barricade killer. It's like this beast. I have a lot of friends that hype this shoe and love this shoe. But yeah, it's got a ton of weight on the bottom. So for me, that's a couple of things. Number one, they're going to be heavier. Number two, they are supportive. There's lots of padding. So if you're comparing these shoes to like the Speed line or the Vapor line or any other lightweight line, you are going to find more support in these, especially for your foot just sitting. There's no air units in these shoes. It's all foam, and I do enjoy that. As you guys know, I don't like any air zoom units, although this is an ASICS shoe. Sometimes brands can find a way to get different technologies in here, but this is mostly gel and foam and all of that stuff in here. However, I'm not that big of a fan of it just because it is really heavy on the bottom. I feel like it's bottom heavy, and for me, I like to be really light on my toes and feel more like a race car driver out on court. That's why I like the Speed line. That's why I like the Vapor line. I feel like if you're comparing this to the Barricade is much lighter on foot and, you know, rides much lower to the ground. So if you want a shoe that's a little bit heavier, it's definitely supportive, especially just through the whole way, through the ankle, through the forefoot, through the toe box here. Very good. Speaking of the toe box, it's very wide. If you want a wide toe box, this is a good one. I enjoy wide toe box, so this is a good one for me. It sounds like I'm not saying anything that's overrated about these shoes yet, but I'm getting there. Just the overall thought of this shoe, I think is just overrated for me because it doesn't do anything for me that's amazing, and I struggle to feel, or sorry, I should say, I struggle to think that Novak actually wears these shoes. There's just something about them that feels not super high performance. When I was playing with them, they felt really heavy, I said, on the bottom of my foot. Maybe that's because I'm used to playing with other shoes and stuff, but they just didn't feel like I was able to get in and out of the corners really fast. We'll say the lateral stability was average. They do have a flange that comes here. You can see it. It's not as pronounced as some other shoes, but it's important to note that it's there at least. Shoes that have the flanges that kind of stick out or have the shank that comes up here generally perform better across the board, and I would agree with this. But I did feel a couple of times that it did buckle a little bit. So that's that piece. The other thing I would like to talk about is the durability. The durability is unreal. The rubber is gonna last a long time. I've worn these shoes for quite some time now, 3 weeks probably. And the durability, there's still tons left on here, as you can see. The one thing I will say, like here's another example. Look how much, I don't really drag right here, but it's so thick. And maybe that's why the shoe is being weighted down. But the one thing I will say about this grip on the shoes. I feel like it's sticking a lot. I had a hard time moving in and out of the corners. Maybe it's a little slide in, maybe a little slide out. I like that from shoes. I feel low to the ground. I feel like I'm in the point. I feel just locked in when that happens, that natural tendency of a little slide here or there because there's just so much force being put into the ground. But I feel like these shoes, they want to stick, and that makes playing for me a little, there's a question mark there. It doesn't feel secure. So that's why I struggle to believe that Novak plays with these shoes, because he's sliding everywhere. Maybe it's just because he's unreal and he's the GOAT and he can do all these things and he's like a Jedi out there, but I don't know how he was able to do it in this particular shoe, and that's why I'm kind of leaning towards it's overrated. And that's mostly due to, in part, of so far the grip of the shoe. I feel like it's sticking and it's so heavy. The uppers are very comfortable. They're pretty light. I like this kind of mesh they got going here. The lacing is fine. I didn't feel like my foot was gonna fall out of the shoe, or I could, sometimes when you try and take your foot out of the shoe, it can slide right out. This is more of a one piece too, so sometimes with shoes like that, it's easy to just, your foot comes right out if you try and take it out, but lockdown was good. But yeah, other than that, I feel like it's a little overrated. This shoe got so much hype when it came out. I feel like it gets pretty solid reviews, but like, I don't know. There's definitely a place for it on the market. I actually enjoy coaching in these shoes because they're soft. There's a lot of padding on there. My feet aren't aching after coaching sessions. There's a few times I played and then I kept these shoes on and coach, and I loved it. But to play, they do feel a little heavy. The grip is sticking a little bit, and I would just like something that just rides lower to the ground. I feel like I'm not on pillows, but definitely propped up. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad shoe. I just feel like it's a little overrated considering what you're getting from the grip and the weight, the overall weight. I think there could be better options out there. However, if you don't mind having a heavy shoe and you're not someone that wants to slide at all, this might be the best shoe ever made. So I might not love it, but you might love it. So that's why we do these reviews, and that's why I like to be honest with you guys. So if you're more someone, like I said, that likes to slide in near the corners, might not be for you. On the opposite, this one could be for you. So as far as ages and levels, of course, I think there's not one particular age that's going to like this shoe more than others. Maybe a slightly older population is my guess, if there was any, just because a lot of older people might have arthritis in their knees or ankles or something with their hip, and there's a lot of padding in these, so you might enjoy the comfort in this shoe. The overall comfort is really good. Like I said, I do enjoy coaching. But yeah, guys, other than that, no glaring issues in the back of the foot here, in the ankle collar. Like I said, very solid as well. But just overall, I feel like for me and for players potentially that play like me, it's a little overrated. So guys, this is the ASICS Court FF Novak. Pretty cool shoe, but just not really for me. But I've worn them for the last 3 weeks, and this is my review. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.